Hare Krishna, everyone.
Hare Krishna.
So we're in a beautiful little newly developed area called Domino Square. You can't see behind you, but there's huge buildings. The old Domino Sugar Refinery, I think, was here back in the old days, in an interesting kind of shaped building. But we got Williamsburg Bridge behind us. Anyway, we're having a little reading, and it's just going to be a short and sweet one today. So.
Alright, Canto 4, Chapter 21, Text 33.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Prithu Maharaj advises citizens, engaging your minds, your words, your bodies, and the results of your occupational duties, and being always open-minded, you should all render devotional service to the Lord, according to your abilities and the occupations in which you are situated. You should engage your service at the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead with full confidence and without reservation. Then you will surely be successful in achieving the final objective in your lives. As stated in the 18th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Swakamana tam aviyacharya. One has to worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead by one's occupational duties. This necessitates accepting the principles of 4 varnas and 4 ashrams. Prithu Maharaj therefore says, Guna Swakamabi. This phrase is explained in Bhagavad Gita. Chako Varyam Maya Sristam Guna Kama Vibhagasha. The 4 castes, the Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas and Shudras, yeah, it's like that, isn't it? Aeroplanes, AK-47s, everything. The 4 castes are created by the Supreme Personality of Godhead according to the material modes of nature and their particular duties discharged in those modes. A person who is situated in the mode of goodness is certainly more intelligent than others. Therefore, he can practice the Brahminical activities, namely speaking the truth, controlling the senses, controlling the mind, remaining always clean, practicing tolerance, having full knowledge about one's self-identity, and understanding devotional service. In this way, if he engages himself in the loving service of the Lord as an actual Brahmana, his aim to achieve the final interest of life is attained. Similarly, the Kshatriya's duties are to give protection to the citizens, to give all his possessions in charity, to be strictly Vedic in the management of state affairs, and to be unafraid to fight whenever there is an attack by enemies. In this way, a Kshatriya can satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead by his occupational duties. Similarly, a Vaishya can satisfy the Supreme Godhead by properly executing his occupational duties, engaging himself in producing foodstuffs, giving protection to cows, and trading if necessary when there is an excess of agricultural production. Similarly, because Sudras do not have ample intelligence, they should simply engage as workers to serve the higher statuses of social life. Everyone's aim should be to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead by engaging his mind in thinking always of Krishna, his words in always offering praise to the Lord or preaching about the glories of the Lord, and his body in executing the service required to satisfy the Lord. As there are 4 divisions within our body, the head, the arms, the belly, the legs, similarly human society taken as a whole is divided into 4 classes of men, according to their material qualities and occupational duties. Thus, the Brahminical intelligent men have to execute the duty of the head, the Kshatriyas must fulfill the duty of the arms, the Vaishyas class must fulfill the duty of the belly, and the Shudras must fulfill the duty of the legs. In executing the prescribed duties of life, no one is higher or lower. There are such divisions as higher and lower, but since there is actually a common interest to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead, there are no distinctions between them. Phew! What a paragraph. Yeah, I think this point we've brought up before about service and in fact, we were talking about it. Like, if we remember that Krishna's the, common goal, or whatever deities you're worshipping. So here it's Radha Mulida and Gaura Chandra. Then we can put aside differences to do that, and it does raise the whole experience of serving together on another level. It's interesting actually. And then when you get stuck because you don't put Krishna in, so even though you think you are, and you're externally having meetings and doing this and doing service, but you're not, because I'm focusing on how he irritates me. She's like that. Did you know he did that? And it's horrible. It's a horrible atmosphere, and that's why you don't want to do service, or you grudgingly do it, or whatever. But yes, it's interesting when you change the switch. It's like a switch. You just make a switch, and they're like, that's the focus. And I don't care who gets the the credit. I don't get this, care that, because the focus is, end result is for the deities. And then it just reminds you of that there's no higher or lower, you're Shudra, you're this, you're that, because we're all just working for Krishna.
Beautiful. That's lovely. Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you for hearing that.
Next paragraph. The question may be raised that since the Lord is supposed to be worshipped by great demigods like Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, and others, how can an ordinary human being on this planet serve him? This is clearly explained by Prithu Maharaj by the use of the word yatadikara, according to one's ability, adhikar, one's qualification. So that's interesting, very, very interesting. If one sincerely executes his occupational duty, that will be sufficient. One does not need to become like Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, Indra, Lord Chaitanya, or Ramanujacharya, whose capabilities are certainly far above ours. Even a Shudra, who is in the lowest stage of life, according to the material qualities, can achieve the same success. Anyone can become successful in devotional service, provided he displays no duplicity. Now that's powerful. Anyone can become successful in devotional service, provided he displays no duplicity. It is explained here that one must be very frank and open-minded. Amayinaha. To be situated in a lower status of life is not a disqualification for success in devotional service. The only qualification is that whether one is Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya, or Shudra, he must be open, frank, and free from reservations. That's very much worth trying to understand. Then by performing his particular occupational duty under the guidance of a proper spiritual master, he can achieve the highest success in life as confirmed by the Lord himself. Excuse me, sir. Hello? Excuse me. Lord have mercy. As confirmed by the Lord himself, Striyo Vaishyas Tata Shudras Te Piyanti Param Gatim. Bhagavad Gita 9:32. It does not matter what one is, whether Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, or degraded woman. If one engages himself seriously in devotional service, working with body, mind, and intelligence, he is sure to be successful in going back home, back to Godhead. The Lord's lotus feet are described here as Kama Dugangri Pankajam. Kama Dugangri Pankajam, because they have all power to fulfill the desires of everyone. A devotee is happy even in this life, because although in material existence we have many needs, all his material needs are satisfied, and when he at last quits his body, he goes back home, back to Godhead, without a doubt. Now that paragraph, this entire purport, is worthy of, I think, deep study and reflection, and these last points are just so powerful about understanding how it doesn't matter what you have to offer, on what level, whether you're Hanuman or the squirrel, but you just need to offer what you have. And if you're an artist, if you're a merchant, if you are a businessman, if you are a CEO, if you are a philosopher, intelligentsia, minister, whatever it is, whatever the gift is that God has given you, engage it in His service, and your life is perfect. And that goes for women too, just so you know, because Prabhupada brought that up. Degraded women, this doesn't include you. But the point is that basically it doesn't matter, really in one sense how rough and tumble you are, you have access to Krishna through devotional service, through bhakti. Beautiful. I love it. That's
inspiring,
great paragraph, great purport. I'm going to somehow highlight that whole thing. Okay, so we're going to finish here. And we wish you all the best. And if you're, please keep tuning in and being with us. We love it. We love you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.